Gareth has been with us for our Fingerstyle retreat, and he's been since busy on tour with Tommy Emmanuel, going all over. And it is just an honor to have you here, Gareth. Thank you so much
thank you,
for
Steve.
being here.
Appreciate you having me on. It's great to see you again.
It is a joy. Thank you so much for pinch hitting and filling in at the very last minute. I've been wanting to have you on the show anyway, so I'm glad this worked out.
Yeah, this is, yeah. I was going to say this is great, but I'm also, I was talking to Christy as well today because she was thanking that I could fill in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just sending some prayers out for her as well, that she has a speedy recovery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for being here.
No.
Tell us what you're going to play for us. What's the first tune you're going to play?
Oh, I'll play a tune of mine. This is called Mr. Spontaneous. It's on my A Tweak on Antique album.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. And here we go.
Fantastic! Wow, what a joy to hear you play again. Gosh, what a treat. If you guys have questions for Gareth as we get going on here, just put them in all caps, and we'll try to get to as many of them as we can. Wow. So tell us about how you got started playing music. Did you come from a musical family?
Yeah, I guess I could say I come from a musical family. Like my dad started playing the guitar when he was in his, I guess, early teens, I believe. He might have started earlier, I'm not sure. But he had two brothers that also had a keen love for music, but they all played different styles of music. But my dad was very influenced by like North American music. He loved Doc Watson when he found out about Doc. He loved Leo Kottke when he found out about Leo, and so he was like all into that, and also the British like folk music scene as well. So
and you grew up in Wales?
I grew up in Wales, of course, yeah. And so that was like always in the house along with
Did you have any formal music training?
No formal.
University or anything like that?
No. I started playing like electric guitar when I was 13, but only kind of like this kind of a. was just doing stuff like that so I could be in bands. Never really took it seriously, but then when I discovered Tommy Emmanuel, that just kind of just sparked something off in me. He led me directly to the sources of his main influences, especially regarding fingerstyle. So that's Chet Atkins, Jerry Reed, and Merle Travis. And as soon as I discovered them, like to this day, I'm just still trying to learn how to play like them.
Well, of course, Tommy. Now you're on the road with Tommy and have become good friends. But he's been such an ambassador for guitar playing all over the world. You know, bringing fingerstyle, you know, to people all over.
On a massive level. A massive level. Like, I was judging a Chinese guitar competition back in 2021, and obviously it's all online. And you're talking about, it was a long competition to judge. It was over like 100 contestants, but the amount of people that are playing Tommy Emmanuel songs over that side, they were playing stuff like Angelina and Mombasa. These are like, as far as I'm concerned, these are like fingerstyle hits. Especially when you're touring with Tommy, you'll start playing one of his own songs, and you know, people just start applauding, and it's incredible what he's achieved with his music and guitar playing in general. So for guitar players like me and other people coming up, he's definitely set a standard and a goal and a path for all of us to walk in. So.
Tell us about the instrument that you're playing here today.
This is a Maton guitar, again very influenced by Tommy in order to go down this guitar choice of direction. This is the Blackwood model Maton guitar. This was given to me by necessity. I was about to go back on the road with Tommy last year. I had a few shows with him in Florida, and my Maton guitars were broken, and I was trying to figure out what guitar to use. They thought they found a guitar that was previously mine that got lost during the pandemic. I went to go see it, and it looked exactly like one that I ordered a while ago, but it was not to the guitar. So we were in a bit of a crisis, so they ended up sending me this guitar, which wouldn't have been my first choice, but I started playing it, I fell in love with it, and it's been like my main guitar since.
Sounds amazing. How are you running it? We've already had some folks asking if the signal that you're hearing online, if that's a mic or if that's a direct. I can answer that question. It's a direct signal. He's coming from his guitar into some pedals. So talk us through what pedals you're going through. Not too many pedals.
Not too many. The first pedal it's a Line 6 wireless unit, but that's on the pedal right now because I'm playing here with you and I'm not doing anything too crazy.
And that's just a wireless.
It's just a wireless unit.
Yeah, so that's not changing the sound at all.
No, not at all. So it's going actually directly into my polyphonic tuner, which I use as a tuner and also as a kill switch.
Yep, the TC Electronics Polytune.
Yeah, and then I go into this Super Octave OC3. It's from Boss. So that's to get lower frequency like bass stuff. So when I'm doing stuff like Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, and all that, I'll hit that just so it emulates a little bit more of the bass and there's more of a band going on.
Can you give us a little example of that?
I can. I don't know how it's going to come across because I haven't set it right. Let's see.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
They're really tricky to set. You have to set them at just the right frequency.
So,
but that's the beautiful thing about these. There's the SC or OC3, and then there's the OC5. I think is out now, or the new one.
Right, I haven't tried that yet.
I just got one. Yeah.
Is it good?
It's really cool. Yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
You have to get the frequency right of what frequency that it'll listen to, and then start to do the.
Okay.
But that's tricky. It's great.
So similar to this then, I guess, but it's probably got more features.
Yeah, it's great. Great unit for fingerstyle.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm experimenting with this right now. So it's kind of like that, yeah.
And then you're also running through another pedal, the Electro-Harmonix.
Yeah,
What
this is
that?
the Qtron Electro-Harmonix. It's basically a filter pedal. Makes you sound like Bootsy Collins.
So those really aren't doing anything to necessarily form the sound. That's just coming from your pickup system there?
It's the key aspect is, I would say, the hands. Making sure you got a good tone in your hands onto the guitar. Then you have the pickup system, which this is the older model, the AP mic, which I'm going to be taking out soon, and I'm going with the AP mic Pro. But that is basically this pickup system, which is a blend between mic and the saddle, and then
That's a maiden system, and then you're going into the Udo amp back there,
which I only just got 2 days ago. So this is the first time I'm kind of doing it in professional settings, which is why I haven't really messed about with figuring out where the boss octave frequencies are going to be punching just right in that. So but this is good experimentation, because I got a concert to do tomorrow at a private function, so we're trying out a lot of things right now.
Well, I'm honored that you could have fill us into your schedule, because I know you have been out on the road with Tommy quite a bit, and doing your own shows as well. Yeah,
I went out with him back in January and February, and I was able to promote some of my solo shows while doing his support slot. And they've been great, because the last couple of shows I've done have been sold out, and I've been getting a lot of great support from you Americans, so I'm loving it.
Well, it's great to have you here. Let's talk about your technique a little bit.
Sure.
You've got the thumb pick, and you've been playing with that. Talk us through how you learned fingerstyle.
I learned fingerstyle by taking the simple kind of Chet Atkins tunes out of that repertoire. So whether it's songs like Windy and Warm, Fate Train, Avalon, I was learning all those tunes, and I was one of the best things I was discovering is everything is based around patterns. So whether it's in the pattern of your technique or a pattern of a song, if you can just start linking everything as formula, it doesn't seem as intimidating, because this style, it sounds very basic and average, because it's so tame to listen to. It's so casual.
Yeah.
But if you've never done it before, you start realizing
it's very technical.
Yeah,
it comes off sounding comfortable and relaxed, but it's actually very, very those of you who have never tried it, Chet Atkins kind of Merle Travis style, it is tricky. It is very, very tricky. And it sounds like there's a lot of fluid in it, but actually you have to practice it so diligently to get those motions down.
Yeah. So I would just take like a bar. One of the first songs I ever learned was Windy and Warm. Obviously, I'm sure you guys out there know this as a classic fingerstyle standard. But you have a basic A minor chord, and then instead of playing the bass line, which goes like say the 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, or A, D, E, D, you do that, but you mute it with the palm of your hand, and that's all played with the thumb. And then you trigger off a chord, say on the 1 beat. So if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, trigger on the 1. And then you can practice doing it on different beats. So if you wanted to do it on the 2, on the 3, and so on, and you can find all these different patterns, but what you're doing is you're learning how to basically, as Tommy would put it, you're like the thumb is the left hand on the piano and the fingers are the right hand.
Yeah.
So where you're striding with your left, that's what the thumb is doing, and then the fingers are doing the right hand. So the more advanced you get, the more different patterns you do, then you start doing more arpeggiated rolls. Then you start realizing, oh, songs are basically chords with that style, but you're triggering different notes and different harmonies. So you can go like, and then windy and warm. So I took that and then I realized, okay, there's about 4 patterns maybe in that. There's this pattern. That's one pattern. So I'll just practice that bar over and over and over until it was in my hands. And that's when it comes down to muscle memory.
Yeah.
So then I'll learn the next bar. And then I put the 2 together. So you got pattern 1 and pattern 2. So that's 1, 2, and then I realized then it's back to 1.
It was back to 1 again. Yeah.
So 2, back to 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, tag it, 1. So you're basically doing a whole section and it was only 4 patterns, except the 4th one is very similar to number 1.
Yeah.
So as soon as I started realizing that, I felt encouraged by looking at these songs and saying, okay, all I got to do is put in the time and the work and try and limit my distractions, and there might be hope for me yet.
Well, that just breaking things down, that's the key. It's just breaking. You can solve just about anything if you can break it down slow enough into small enough pieces. Yeah,
well, you're great at teaching that too. I at the camp that you invited me to in last summer, I noticed, you have a great way and a work ethic of not being intimidating for people. I've seen so many teachers that when they teach and it's just like, oh, I'm never going to get this, but I really enjoy your teaching method too.
Well, and we're very excited to have you with us for our summer camp.
That's right, on the 14th of June.
June 14th, so it's coming up. It's about 6 weeks away. And Gareth is going to be doing a fingerstyle workshop and then playing a concert on our Wednesday night. And it's going to be great. We've got so many wonderful folks that are involved with that. I guess we might as well talk about it since we had come up. Let's see, we've got 14-time Grammy winner Ron Block is going to be doing flat picking guitar at the guitar conference. He's the guitarist for Alison Krauss and Union Station, and is just a legend. So I'm so honored that he could be here with us and be talking about song arranging as well. So Ron's brilliant with that. Bard Walker, of course, doing blues with us from Hank Williams Jr.'s band, and T. Graham Brown is going to be amazing. And then just booked this week, Tom Bukovac, the #1 studio guitarist here in Nashville, Academy of Country Music Award Guitarist of the Year, several times now. And he's got his own YouTube show, Homeschooling, which is phenomenal. I would encourage y'all to look up Tom if y'all haven't. Tom Bukovac. And Tom is going to be leading a workshop with us as well at the Guitar Gathering Conference. So all that to say, hey, if you're interested in being a part of this conference, it's June 14th through the 17th. You're kind of the big opening for it. And June 14th through the 17th here in Nashville. If you're interested in just getting away from life for a few days and coming here to Nashville for 4 days and just getting drenched in all things guitar, check us out at guitargatheringconference.com. You can get all the information there. We've got a great lineup of workshops. There's songwriting stuff. There's blues and bluegrass and jazz classes and all kinds of things. If you're interested, jam groups and things like that. I'll be doing a lot of leading some of the jam groups this year, so it's always a fun time. If you're interested in joining us, we've got some early bird discounts on the registration that are getting ready to expire. So if you're thinking about coming, now's the time to get on the train now to come here to Nashville coming up in just about 5 or 6 weeks. So I know a lot of the folks that are regulars on our show have been here to the conference as well. So if you're thinking about coming, come on. It's going to be a great one. Also, we have our fall event, which we haven't really talked about. You can go to fingerstyleretreat.com, and that will get you all the information about that, of which you were a part of our wonderful Fingerstyle retreat last year. And that's always a great time. It's a very different time in a lodge right here in Nashville in the peak of fall colors. We've got Walter Rodriguez Jr. is going to be with us this year. Thomas Lieb's going to be with us. And so it's always a great time. So if you're interested, check that one out as well. But that's in the fall. That's a long way away, fall. But anyway, we had some questions that had come up there. So while, let me see, let's get back to a couple of these questions here. Go down a little bit further there. The style reminds me of Lindsey Buckingham a bit.
Oh yeah.
What are your influences?
Lindsey Buckingham's a big influence on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved his fingerstyle playing, and yeah, I love his attitude as well. When when you talk to him about guitar playing, he says something similar to what I hear Jerry Reed once say and Brent Mason say, that they don't regard themselves as guitar players but guitar thinkers. And you know, when I'm around most of the people, Steve, that I'm meeting, I feel like I don't want to call myself a guitar player either. So I like trying to say I'm a guitar thinker.
There you go.
I just try and think of different stuff up and take all my influences and just try and find something just a little bit different, even if it's a slide that might be a little bit different or something like that. But regarding influences, you know, Tommy is my man. I love that guy and how he plays. I think he's the pinnacle of great fingerstyle playing. But Richard Smith is another, like a champion of a guitar hero for me. Just his right hands are so technically advanced. I just sit in awe of watch him play, which I'm very grateful. And the other day, I think it was just around about the time Richard and Tommy were doing a benefit concert at the City Winery. They were rehearsing in the studio, and I managed to just eavesdrop in, and I got to sit on the couch, and I had Richard to the left of me and Tommy on the right. And Richard's on nylon and Tommy's on steel, and it sounded exactly like the Me and Jerry records. They were playing songs from that repertoire, and I was just in heaven. I was just I was dancing inside for sure. But sorry to cut you off, but but obviously their influences as well are like huge on me. The Chet Atkins, Jerry Reed, and Mel Travis, which I mentioned before. So yeah.
Can you play something else? What else are you gonna play for us?
Let's do a little Travis thing here.
All right, great. Well, he's doing that. Y'all be thinking of your questions. Put them in all caps for us.
Yeah, sure. This is White Heat. Okay, 1, 2, 3. bit of Merle Travis there.
Yes. Wow. Wonderful. 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 Wow. Okay, I've got some questions about your technique. First of all, I noticed you do not have any nails.
No nails, no nails. I think I'm too reckless to be a nail player. My hands fly all over the shop.
You are really digging in on that.
Yeah.
On that.
I'm talking about in life in general. not necessarily guitar
Not just
playing.
guitar playing.
Yeah.
That Merle Travis style, that requires some strength to get all of that.
I've put in the hours. I've done the homework. It's a completely different attitude to the Chet Atkins, like careful and pristine.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same concept, but just a different attitude. Where Chet would be like very casual. Merle Travis is, and where Chet also would use, say, 3 fingers, the maximum of 3 fingers if he's playing his songs like if he's doing something like that. Merle Travis would be, I wouldn't even attempt to play Travis style in that. Again, like with White Heat, I'm playing like melody notes, but I'm strumming up nearly everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like targeting some notes. It's going to be.
So you're not individually picking the string as much as just kind of getting the whole finger is flicking a couple of strings.
Yeah.
While your hand is braced. I know your hand is braced as well.
Yeah. Sometimes the best way to start doing it is by locking down your hand onto the body of the guitar. So without even playing melodies, sometimes it's just good to put that down on the body and just play these chords. And a lot of Travis chords, they're very chunky, they're very full, and they also require the thumb over the neck of the guitar. So here's like a great, like an A. It's kind of like a jazzier version of Jimi Hendrix, really. So you got this, then I'm going to a D chord here.
And so you're using the thumb over the top to cover 5th and 6th.
Yeah. Then I get to this E9. But if I was to do it authentically like Travis, I would come over like that. Right. But I'm doing it like that here. A D here as well. You can. Here's another D7 shape.
Yep.
And here's an E. That's what Tommy calls that a fistful of E. So like just practice doing like say a 12 bar. If you can practice doing that and then start doing songs with melodies like it's like honky tonk playing.
Yeah. I wish so many times I wish y'all could see what I see, from the angle that I see these amazing players at. All the bass line that you were hearing there was basically their thumb. It was really the thumb. It was doing the whole doom, not just the single note boom, beam, boom, beam, but it was also hitting a couple of extra third string every now and then, kind of giving a little bit of a chord there. All that was happening with the thumb, which frees up first, second, and third to start doing melodic things.
The thumb is basically your band.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the singer in this band, it's the lead finger that's the singer, but the entire orchestra is coming from the thumb. Yeah. To the extent where sometimes, again, if Chet's playing and he might flick the G a little. There might just be a little bit which has a percussive attitude. I've seen it in cases and heard it in cases where Travis might even come down, even hitting the high E string.
Yeah.
Which, again, it takes a lot of attitude and confidence when you're doing that. But it makes a world of difference when you
just hear it. I mean, it's just a different strength to the sound.
yeah, like you get a good guitar with a good body on that, and that'll like fill out the room. But what I love about these guitars, you know, it's going into that the Udo amp, and I'm looking forward to doing it tomorrow. But it's going to go through a PA, and when you get the frequencies right, which doesn't take that hard with this equipment, it's pretty professional, very professional equipment, I should say. You get that going through a PA, and the place gets bumping.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
I had a couple of questions. R. Austin is saying, is that a custom-built guitar?
This is not a custom build. This guitar...
Do you know the model, specific model on it?
I think it's the EBW.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, this guitar belonged to the Little River Band. They managed to just give this to me, figure out a way to get me a guitar. So
those Maidens, I haven't heard a bad one yet. I mean, they just all sound amazing.
yeah, they get the job done, especially in live circumstances. I've never struggled at all at a gig with a Maiden guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, plug in those pickup systems will do the job.
What kind of strings are you running these days?
These are 12 to I forgot the number now, 12 to 53s or 52s. What's the standard? You think I know playing the guitar?
Is it elixirs or
No,
Diodaros?
these are Diodarios, and it's the XS model.
XS, those are great.
So yeah, these are phenomenal. I actually got these 2 years ago. They sent me this one because I was using the XTs before that. I don't know if you've tried them.
Yeah.
But I loved the XTs, and I thought, I don't need to try those XSs because the XTs are doing really well. But tried the XS, and I was sold. I just thought, it's kind of got the...
it's got a little bit of a coating.
A little bit of a coat, but not too much to distract me.
Yeah.
And they last me a long time, to the extent sometimes I just forget to change my strings.
Is it a standard light set that you're running?
Yeah,
or?
it's standard light. So I think, what was that? That 12 to 53s is the standard light. So I'm not very good with numbers, Steve.
Yeah, no, that's great. Everybody's always curious about that. Yeah. Yeah, and some guys are really persnickety on the gauges and things like that. But if you can, a regular standard light set is pretty well mixed.
Yeah, so some people have bizarre. I was like, I say bizarre. It's horses for courses. But I was doing some gigs with Mike Dawes, and he has very specific string gauges for how he plays. He just doesn't take a set.
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy. I just need to go on whatever's given me. But I also know Joe Robinson as well.
Yep.
I was watching a workshop of his online, just like nerding out. And he apparently, I think he uses a B string on the high E as well. So he'll use a standard set, and then on a B string, and on an E string he uses a B string also.
Wow.
So it just gives him a punchier tone.
Yeah, another amazing player.
Yeah.
Thomas is asking, what do you do to help learn how to wrap your thumb around the top? That is something that I just could not, physically, it just did not come easily to me. I think some people, it just has to do with a joint there. I think it's just, some people can and some people can't. I never could get it to be accurate.
Was you already a player by the time you started doing that?
Yeah, and I just never could. I mean, some guys finger it like, man, I thought it'd be great if you could finger it like that. I never could just do that. I would just have to figure it out normally.
I think I had no choice because I just dived right into technical, like fingerstyle. I've noticed that most of these songs required the thumb over the neck of the guitar.
Especially the Travis stuff.
Yeah, so it's the same with people that say, how do you learn how to play with a thumb pick? And it's because I started. I didn't know any other way. I put on the thumb pick, and there we go. I started learning. If you've been playing for a few years or mostly all your life, and then all of a sudden want to be a thumb picker, it's going to be very weird, I think, very alien. So just put in the hours, really. But I mean, I started learning Czech in songs that not only were you playing with a thumb over the neck, but you were also moving the thumb as well as part of the music. Like, Chet's arrangement of Caravan, you got the bass going. So you have to. And then
Wow,
that
that's
becomes
tricky.
So that
Beautiful.
was a workout.
Beautiful. And again, it sounds so easy and fluid, and just looking at what you're doing there, there's different. The bass line would be so easy to just go, but it's not that. It's fifth string to the sixth,
Yeah, but it's
and you got to keep everything going as well.
Yeah, it's a genius arrangement though. Like Chet, Travis, Jerry, and like listening to what Tommy does with his arrangements. And there's so many other players as well. Richard Smith, Doyle Dykes, some people that like it's constant. Like well thought out.
Yeah. Very technical. Very technical. SC is saying, I'm incapable of playing with a thumb pick. How to do this? Well, you just kind of start. Like you're using a standard, regular old Dunlop.
Yeah, this is a medium Dunlop pick.
Do you shave it down or anything? Or
I don't. I was going to mention that. Same with strings. If I get something, I don't want to have to do any work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get a thumb pick. The only thing I'll do is make sure it fits nice and tight, because sometimes they don't always come the same.
Right.
So I'm actually glad I'm down here, because I need to buy a whole bunch of picks. So I'm here.
Well, if only you were at a good guitar store, then you would be able to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the heavier picks. Just a thick, like there's some picks out there that are thin,
mm-hmm.
and they don't do it for me, because especially when how aggressive I like to get with the Travis play in.
Yeah.
I need a very heavy thumb pick.
Yeah. All right, we had a couple of Lee is saying, play a lot of Giuliani studies. Yes, in the classical realm, Giuliani studies would be giving you that right hand independence on that. Speaking of the Giuliani studies, hey, did you guys enjoy the Belmont Guitar Ensemble last time? Just amazing young players, primarily classical. Were here last week, and we had a show with them, and it was just great. So many. I just love the variety in playing. All right. Let's see. Any more questions that we have down here? How many fingers are you using? You don't use your pinky. Your pinky's bracing down there, is it?
It's braces, but I do use it for different techniques.
To go. Oh, that's
I'll
cool.
use it for different stuff, but yeah, I'm pretty much using anything and everything that's needed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But my main finger, my main in the Travis technique, it's going to always be thumb and index finger. And then when I get to Chet style, I'm mainly using like the three fingers. That's for Jerry Reed as well. But I'm still figuring out more ways to use the pinky.
I've got some questions for you. When you're trying to learn a new song, what is kind of your practice way of tackling a new challenge? Now, I know it's difficult for you because you're constantly playing and constantly on the road and stuff like that, but if you did have to learn a new song, what is kind of your practice process of having to put that together?
Waking up early and getting the coffee going and motivating myself to... I love playing the same thing I already know,
mm-hmm.
and working on that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you got to say, okay, now I got to try and learn something new to mm-hmm. apply whatever I can learn there. Because it's also, it's just good for your memory as well, to keep expanding. But like lately, I've been working on just different techniques that I wouldn't dare practice right now in front of you. I'd probably butcher it. But yeah, like waking up early and just spending a good lot of time on the instrument, and getting the song in your hands. But I think the challenging thing is then once it's in your hands, you need to be able to converse it with somebody. And that's the danger of being a bedroom player. And I can, even though I'm performing, any new song, I could call that a bedroom song, in the sense of I'm very good at playing it isolated when there's nobody watching. But if I feel there's an ounce of pressure on me, you start realizing the technique isn't quite there.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to learning a language. Like I've gone to foreign countries and I'm learning sentences. Say I was like in Japan in 2019 and I wanted to learn some Japanese for a radio show. And I think I have it memorized because I'm practicing it in my head. But for some reason, the second you start using it on a person, there's either a fear that goes on or there's a boundary that you're not used to actually giving what you're trying to say to somebody else. You have to practice playing these songs in front of somebody else.
Yes.
And that's why we play music, I believe. I think it's very important not just to hold it to our own. It can be meditative, but when you want to actually make music for someone, you got to get out there and practice and maybe find people that you trust to share it with first. The same as like maybe an idea that we might have to say verbally. Sometimes you just want to talk it over with your friends. It's not good to just hold it to yourself. But eventually, if you feel like, oh, I like sharing my ideas, then you just start sharing them with more people. So I have that I had that epiphany.
What a wonderful thought.
Yeah.
Way to do that. I've heard it described as like there's two different areas of which you work as a player. There's the workshop area that you go in, you shut the door, you try and figure out how to play something, and you try and work out the movements and things like that. But then there comes a time where you just have to take it out of that workshop and you get into performance mode. And then you have to work at performing what you've done. And you have to practice performing it and being in front of people and doing it under pressure and ready, go, being able to do it without nerves getting involved or being flustered with this or that. And it's just fascinating because so many folks wrestle with nerves and on-stage anxiety and performance anxiety and things like that.
Yeah, it's important to be honest about it too. I think if you're in your head and you're holding it back, you start, again, if I'm going to be honest now with you guys, like I'm playing here and I'm a little bit, I feel like I'm even holding back on my technique because I've never played through this amp. But before I played about half an hour before I came down here this afternoon, and I was like, oh man, I love this amp. And I'm realizing though it's not something I'm technically used to. So I'm down here now, I'm playing and I'm kind of in the zone. I'm enjoying the company and everything, but certain things just like wire in my head. And again, if I was doing this every single day now this week, that I would be so used to it. It wouldn't even give me a second thought. So that basically means I need to be here more often.
Yes, I will second that. I would love to have you back there. We need to get you on your way. We're running out of time here, and I want you to play one more tune before we go. We do have a CD that maybe we can get you to autograph before we give this away. Tell us about this CD before we give this away.
Well, first of all, how long we got? I don't want to keep you either.
We've got just another minute or two.
Okay.
We're finishing up.
All right, and so this is my latest album. I recorded it in like 2 locations, mostly in Rockfield Studios in Wales. That's the very famous, popular Welsh studio. You might recognize it on Bohemian Rhapsody. That's where Freddie and Queen, they did that session.
History.
Yeah, and like, you know, we can talk about that for a lot of people went there. But yeah, I did most of it there. But yeah, it's mainly a fingerstyle album. It's called A Tweak on Antique. So that I basically, on quite a few of the songs, tried to capture old vintage sounds, but I had it produced so it had just a bit more modern touch on it. My brother helped me produce a lot of that as well. He was a great musician too.
Well, someone's about to win this. The winner of this is... are you going to pick that, Stephen? Or am I?
I don't have the list.
You don't have the list. Okay, I'm going to give it to Chris Coogan. I saw that name come by. Chris Coogan, who's trying to unlearn bad technique. We're all trying to.
Oh, I'm doing that right now.
Get rid of bad technique.
Yeah.
So, Chris, thank you so much for being a part of this, and we will get this autographed and get that sent off to you and to our other winners as well. I don't know if we've gotten a shirt size yet for Steve Tiernan, but definitely let me know about that. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Before Gareth plays us out, check out our Guitar Gathering Conference, which we're so excited for you to be a part of, and all the many resources that we have over at Guitar Gathering. If you're interested, we are going to be doing finally getting back to our pentatonic series next Tuesday night. So we'll be back on Tuesday nights next week and finishing up our pentatonic series, add some blues notes. And I hope you guys have been practicing that stuff, trying to get all those underneath your fingers. It just doesn't have it. I wish it could be. You watch great playing and you go, I got it. And it doesn't work like that. You gotta put in the work. You gotta get up early. You gotta do your stuff to get this all underneath your fingers. So, what a fun show with all the many guests that we've had. What are you gonna play us out with?
Let me do a bit of Oh by Jingo. I'm in a Chet mood.
All right, there you go. There you go.
But thanks for having me on, Steve.
Oh, what a
Appreciate it.
joy having you.
Yeah.
Here,
I've had
Gareth.
it last year.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Fantastic.
Oh by Jingo. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much,
No,
Gareth.
thank you, Steve. God bless you, brother.
What a joy to have you here with us. Looking forward to having you at our conference. Keep up the great work in your own guitar learning. Your music matters, and we will see you guys next time.